It's gonna be a good day. Hello, St. Rose. Thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of St. Rose Rocks. I'm Connor Walsh, and as always, we are bringing you music by the Golden Knights for the Golden Knights. We have a special Golden Knight here for you, a Golden Knight alum for you guys. Today's special guest, we have Scott Chatfield. Scott, how are you, bud?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing good. How's everything treating you during this time of isolation?
You know, just practicing, trying not to let the blues get to me.
Now, Scott, could you tell everybody what you studied here at St. Rose while you're still here?
Yes, when I was in St. Rose, I went for music education. So I did all the teaching stuff, all that, learning all the instruments. That's what I really enjoyed.
Nice. And what was your primary instrument?
I was saxophone.
Saxophone. And I gotta say, you're pretty well skilled on just about any saxophone that I've seen thrown at you. Could you talk to us about that a little bit, all the different kinds?
All right, I'll take you way back to where it all started. In fourth grade, I had picked up the alto saxophone as my first instrument. So I played that for 2 years, and by the time I got into sixth grade, there was a little small closet in the band room that had the Barry sax on a stand. And one day my teacher just makes a off comment to himself. It's like, I need someone to play that someday. And I'm like, I'll do it. So one day after school, I just come in. He has it all set up for me. And I put on a neck strap, that heavy horn for a little sixth grader, and just like, ugh. I played it for about 10 minutes and I fell in love instantly with it. So that's the primary Barry sax. I love playing it. That's where it came from. Seventh grade, I like to say, 7th or 8th, me and one of my friends who was also a saxophone player had kind of a rivalry going on, and he bought a soprano sax. So I'm like, I want one of those now too. So on eBay found a really cheap one. I'm like, I got a soprano. And then after that, in high school, after playing the Barry sax for a while, if you're not doing something like fun, you're just playing bass lines, you kind of get tired of just playing bass lines. So I thought, you know what? I want to play tenor sax. I started to practice on one of the school tenors. For Christmas, I begged my parents to get me a tenor sax, and I got one.
Could you tell us about the first song that you guys are going to be showing us today?
All right, so this song is called Lose Control. It's an original song that we kind of wrote the chord progression for, but we all usually have our own little parts that we put in. This is our live performance at the Chance Theater, January 10th, I believe. I really like this song. It gets me so pumped up. It has such a nice energy to it. And then in the middle of the song, we kind of slow it down. It gets all spacey, and then we come right back into it. And you'll just have to hear it, and you get to see me boogie down on stage too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the song for you guys now, Lose Control by Swamp Fox.
Lose control.
Now, one thing I got to say, you have a very specific performing style whenever I see you out there. Definitely lively and energetic. Could you tell us about how you came to having such an interesting stage persona?
It's kind of an interesting one because I've always had like a flair for performing. Ever since I can remember, honestly, just always had like that inner urge almost inside to want to bring more to the performance than what's just there on the surface. Like I could play the music and have people appreciate that, but I want them to really like feel and enjoy it. In college, like freshman year, I had like, for some reason, I was just not feeling the music and everything just felt blah. And I discovered a video one of my friends sent me. It's like, yo, these guys are awesome. And it happened to be Too Many Zoos playing in the subway. And I'm sure of you by now know who Leo P is. He's the bari sax player that dances around like a maniac. I like this guy. I'm gonna try doing some of what he does. And then I kind of used a little bit of what he did with what I used to do, and it came together to what I do now.
Nice. That's awesome. And I got to say, seeing the number of performances I've seen you in, you definitely have a lot of great energy. So really cool to hear where that all came from. So could you tell us about your band a little bit?
That one's an interesting concept too. It was inspired by Too Many Zoos, believe it or not.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I saw that one really popular video of just Leo and his drummer in the subway. I'm like, I want to go out and do this stuff with somebody. So I messaged an old friend from back home, John Lujan, who's currently our drummer. And I said, hey, you still doing music? Because I have a thing I want to do. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm always down to jam. And I'm like, awesome. So that got me really inspired. And I made a post on Facebook saying, hey, if anyone wants to jam with me this summer, I'm set to go. This was like back in 2016, I think, or 2017. And Connor McCarty, the vocalist and rhythm guitar for our band, he was one of the only ones to comment on the post. And he said, yeah, dude, I'm down to jam. I've been wanting to have a band for so long. So the three of us got together one day and we just started playing, and it just felt so good. And we're like, we need to do this more. So that whole summer we just got together, played music. We had one show in Connor's basement, and then I had to go back to school, of course. And while I was at school, we wanted to keep the band going, so they kept sending me songs to practice. I sent them things I wanted them to learn. And while I was over there, our current keyboard player, he played guitar at the time, Josh, I'm sorry, Josh, if I mispronounce your last name, Sergas. He joined the band while I was at school, so they were practicing together. And then our bass player at the time knew Josh, Donnell Gibson. He was like 60 years old, the coolest guy you've ever met. And I'm like, wow, the band is going on back home, and I'm here at college. I need to go home and practice. One weekend, I just go home and we meet all together. And it's like, wow, these guys are cool. I enjoy this. And that was our group for quite a bit. And then once we started like gaining more momentum, our bass player, unfortunately being 60, he was retired, so he was like in 20 other bands playing bass. He couldn't keep up with what we were trying to do, so we had to unfortunately let him go. The four of us kept going all the way up until now, where our keyboard player Josh is going to be going to law school.
Wow.
So we're like, oh god, now it's just going to be the three of us again. But unfortunately, I think it was Connor met this kid Tom Messina. He's a killer guitar player, and like, dude, you want to join the band and play with us? And he said, yeah, and like everyone's on board with it.
Nice.
So now we have Tom in the group, and then we were also like, we really need a bass player. And our drummer knew a bass player because he had another band that he plays with. You know this guy, why haven't we asked him to join our band and play with us too? His name is Alex Massimi. He's a really cool kid. He's picking up everything that we're giving him. We have like a whole list of songs. He's just like, yeah, dude, I got it. No problem. Like, I feel so like excited now. It's like, oh, it's the same band, but it's new. So we're really excited to see where it gets.
I hear you, bud. Now, you've been able to put out a decent amount of music under the band, and the band name is?
Swamp Fox.
And people can find Swamp Fox?
Everywhere. SwampFoxMusic.com is our main website. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, DistroKid, I think. Wherever they put stuff out, that's where we got it.
Very nice. So, Scott, what's the second track that you have for us today?
The second track is called No Laws. And like I said, for Lose Control, this one is a little bit different because we didn't have someone write like a chord progression and then bring it in and be like, hey guys, this is what I got. We were all in the room together, and it just kind of came together over a couple weeks, and then like a couple months of refinement to finally get it where we like just, this is it, this is the song. And we decided that we wanted to show that one off before all our other originals because it was the one that we made as a whole band in the same room at the same time. We really like how it turned out. We feel like it's the most us song because we all our hearts were in it at the same time.
All right, everybody. So the last song on this episode of St. Rose Rocks, we got No Laws by Swamp Fox.
I've seen all lit up now with gasoline. Just remember that life is fine. There's no laws, but I'm doing time. No laws and I'm doing time. No laws and I'm doing time. Oh, pretty mama, gonna make you mine. Four shots, gonna say goodbye. Oh Lord, yeah, I'm doing time. Got a 50 in my pocket, many mountains to climb. Not sure, but I'm doing time. Better learn how to say goodbye, goodbye. Myself paid, my years are short, but my days are long, and I'm so damn tired. Might not make it through the song. I'll make it through the song.
So, Scott, besides being a part of Swamp Fox, you do solo work, correct?
Yes, I do.
Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I actually just released a single called Iceberg. One night, it was really cold. It was like mid-January. I want to take this feeling that I'm feeling and put it to music. And for some reason, just ice and just the name Iceberg stuck with me. So I decided to just go on GarageBand, was the program I have because I'm not that technologically advanced. And I came up with this riff that I was playing on the Iwi, just that bass line that you'll hear if you listen to the song. And I took that, the feeling of being cold, and I just put it to a song. So I wanted my saxophone to be primary featured on it because it's my main instrument. So I had my friend Nick Pappalardo help record me and put the saxophone part in. And I can't thank him enough. Nick, if you're watching, thank you. And also Elijah Sullivan too, thank you. You helped mix and master my track to make my dream a reality. And yeah, I put it all together and I'm just really proud of how it came out. And aside from that single, I'm also recording with my friend Max McCrae. If you're watching this, thank you, Max. You are a blessing. It's my solo EP that I'm working on. It's strictly saxophones. And of course, John's gonna help me on drums because I can't play drums.
Obviously, we still got a little bit of wait for the EP, but where can people find the single that you released?
You can find my single on BandCamp under Scott EC, like EC, not Scotty C. Yeah, I thought I was so clever. It's like, hey, it's my initials, but it sounds like Scotty C, like Kenny G. I don't know. It's a good stage name, I guess. Leo P, Kenny G. Yeah, right now it's only on BandCamp for $1, so I have no job. You want to buy it?
Go out there and help them out. Pick up that song for $1. Iceberg, everybody. Scott, before we go, do you have any words of wisdom for anybody who is about to graduate? You graduated last year. You've had 1 year on the outside. Do you have any words of wisdom for anybody about to graduate this year?
All right, so my best piece of advice for anyone just graduating out of college, if there's something that you're really passionate about and you want to do it, just do it. There's no one but you holding you back. I've learned this being out of school. I've caught myself several times sitting thinking to myself, man, this is never going to happen. And then I catch myself, I'm like, no, this is going to happen. I'm going to make my dreams reality. And every time I have that turnaround of thought, something happens that makes me realize, you know what? I can do this. So if you got something you love, music, performing, mixing, mastering, being an educator, go out and do it.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Scott. I think that's a perfect way to wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for being on St. Rose Rocks with me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. As always, got to thank the Student Development, Student Association, the St. Rose Marketing Team, and the college in general. If you have a talent that you want showcased or you want to have a shout out made on this, please let me know. Email me at walshc907@stros.edu. As always, thank you for tuning in. This is why St. Rose rocks. I'm glad we get to spend some time.